Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to another video here. So I want to talk about the ending events of episode 13, and I really want to talk about two characters that potentially could die. I only think one of them's going to die, but I think these two characters are the candidates right now to take Dwight's comic book death. And yeah, I want to get into that and then talk about this new character named Toby Carlson. So obviously, before going any further and get into all the crazy details of episode 13, obviously I do have to warn you that this will contain spoilers for that episode. And as well, if you are new here, make sure to be a subscriber if you want to get more Walking Dead content like that. Also, I was thinking about doing a video on The Boys season 3 trailer, because I watched it. It was really, really good. And we're actually going to see Andrea, because the actress Laurie Holden is actually going to be playing a character in there, and I'm really excited for the role she's actually going to have in this season. So yeah, if you guys are interested in a video breaking down that trailer, because I do know quite a bit of things about the comic series and stuff, then yeah, definitely let me know down below. I'm going to be reviewing the television show no matter what, because I'm actually really excited for season 3. Season 2 ended off in a really, really interesting way, and they didn't really tease it too much in episode 3 trailer, season 3 trailer, but it does seem like we're going in a really interesting direction here, where the comic does eventually go to. But yeah, anyways, let's actually talk about what I want to talk about here, which is the Aaron and Gabriel stuff. So Aaron and Gabriel, to me right now, seem to be the two likely candidates to die in the next few episodes. I'm thinking episode 16 is going to be the big moment. And again, this might not actually mean anything in the end. A lot of us think that Dwight's comic book death, is going to be something that they actually do adapt here. And I think it's because it does make sense. It was such a big turning point in the story that it kind of needs to happen. And so if in the end it doesn't happen, it doesn't mean that all of us were like wrong about this and that. Oh, we hyped it up for nothing. It's because it's something that's supposed to happen. Like, in my opinion, that's something that needs to happen. I think, doing the 25-year time jump, doing some of the stuff that happens at the end of the comic, maybe you don't do that because they are planning to branch out into a universe, this and that. Maybe you borrow some of those last things at the end of the comic and do that at the end of the movie trilogy, right? Like, you can kind of do it there, but Dwight's comic book death, I think, is the last big moment, I would say, of the comic series that you do have to adapt. And so I really hope that we do actually get it. And if we don't, I will be really disappointed. It depends on what we get, because what if we get something better, right? But if we don't get that, then yeah, you'll definitely see a video from me being pretty upset about that. So in my opinion right now, in terms of who's actually going to get this death, I want to go with Aaron out of all the characters who I think is going to get this death. I don't see Gabriel taking the death right away. And the reason is because it doesn't seem like Gabriel is around our characters right away, right? It seems like Gabriel and them are they're definitely going to be arrested, I think, for all of this. I think they will get arrested and taken in. I don't know. Gabriel could be in that situation. Maybe Gabriel's the one who kills Aaron. Maybe it is literally both of them. I'm not entirely sure how this is going to go, but I just have this feeling about Aaron right now. And maybe it's because out of the two characters, he's getting the most screen time, but it just feels like Aaron is about to die. And I mean, I'm thinking about what we've got from him in part 2 so far. In episode 9, we saw him save Gracie, right? He had a pretty big, fatherly like moment there where he was protecting his daughter. And then just a lot of things that have happened since then. He's just been around. And I know there is that shot. I don't think we got this shot yet, but there is that shot there where we do actually see Daryl. It looks like they're arresting Aaron and Gabriel. I mean, again, this could have happened already, but I don't remember this shot even happening. So something is happening here. We have some of those shots there where we do see Aaron with Daryl and they're killing Commonwealth soldiers. So, I think the way this is going to go, and this is just sort of an early prediction of mine, I could be completely wrong here, but the feeling I'm having here is that Aaron and Gabriel need to go back to the Commonwealth because they're, well, first of all, their families are there, right? So they got to go in and basically get their families out. That's going to be their whole thing here. And they got to cover this up somehow. And I think Daryl's going to run into them. And I think what Daryl's going to do here is he might just say, you know what, if you guys just leave, like talking to Gabriel and Aaron, like if you guys just leave, they might do something really bad to your families. And so I kind of have to bring you in. I have to do something here. So I think Daryl is sort of faking at this moment. He's like, you know what, I'm going to bring you guys in and we're just going to act like it's whatever. And we're going to work this out kind of thing. Right. And I think that's, I think they're going to agree. And I think that's where things are going to get really tricky. I think that if Aaron and Gabriel go to those cells or whatever, and then eventually break out, I could totally see a situation where when they do break out, the protests and the rioting happens and stuff in episode 16, I could totally see Aaron, if he's running around, sneaking around, coming across Pamela Milton, and then we see that scene play out. And it depends. I mean, who's going to be the person that actually kills Aaron, right? Could be Gabriel in the scene too, but I can definitely see it being that. And what if it's Daryl? What if Daryl's the one to do it? I mean, I don't even want to think about that. But then again, like that is sort of the how big the moment is, right? But I don't know. I feel like certain moments could be too far, but it really does depend. It depends on how they build everything up here, right? I mean, Aaron and Daryl have such a deep relationship, going back to season 5. Like Aaron and his boyfriend are the ones that actually welcomed Daryl into Alexandria, right? And allowed him to be able to adapt to this place much more easily, right? And so if in the end it's Daryl that kills him, I mean, I just don't even know if it's in Daryl's character to do something like that, unless it means that Judith or RJ potentially could die, right? If it's something where Daryl's like, I have no way out of this. I have to do this. Like, the situation has to be that intense. That's why people are excited about this moment. It's something that really, it does change. I mean, that's the thing. We never got to explore really afterwards what that did to Rick to kill Dwight. Although I will say, for Rick and Dwight, that was sort of coming anyways. There was some stuff earlier in the comic where it kind of seemed like Dwight might actually go and kill Rick. So I look at that and I'm like, it was shocking, but you kind of saw it coming a little bit. Not Rick being the one to do it. I think Dwight would have had to have like tried to attack Rick physically, but for Rick to just do that out of nowhere, it more just showed his commitment to the Commonwealth, which Pamela Milton liked. And that was just more in a way to keep the peace. And I just wonder if Daryl's going to do the same thing, because it seems like that's kind of what he's trying to do right now, is keep the peace. So I don't know, maybe Daryl's not the one to do that there. We'll have to wait and see who's actually the character to do it. It could just be Lance, but then again, I feel like that's not, it depends, if like, that's the thing. The moment could be really, really insane, really crazy if Daryl's the one that kills Aaron or Gabriel. But like, if it's Lance, the moment will still be crazy because you're still killing Aaron or Gabriel off, right? It's just that it's not going to be as insane because it's, you can kind of see it already. Like, obviously Lance would kill one of the characters in our group, right? But this is some scary stuff here. And this is why I made a big deal about episode 13. Because when you see those things play out there, like when you see the character, his name's Toby Carlson, when you see Carlson react in the way that he did, our character, Gabriel and Aaron, aren't going to stand by that. They're not just going to sit there and be like, what, up until this point, they thought the Commonwealth, maybe they have their own little things, they want this political power, they want this, it's whatever, just roll your eyes and move on because there's nothing you can do about it because they have all this power in the military, right? It's just sort of like all of us, right? Like, we look at politicians, like we look at everything happening in politics and stuff, and sure, people try to do stuff, but for me, it kind of feels like everything just kind of stays the same anyways. And you know what? I'm happy overall. I'm happy in my life. So yeah, I'm not going to complain, right? And I think Aaron and Gabriel are kind of in the same position. Like, we can do all these things for ourselves. And, yeah, there's a lot of things that are happening here, but like, they can't really do much to change it. That's sort of that's just the world. That's just life, right? Until you're in a situation like this and we see Carlson react like this, and oh man, like Gabriel and Aaron, when Gabriel punches him and then they go and arrest him, it was a really, right away I was like, oh shit, what's happening to Gabriel now? Because like this, he's done. And then Aaron, obviously for him, ended up being a lot worse afterwards. And oh man, the episode was so intense, and it really was. It pushed everything over the, oh, not, I didn't mean, I was going to say pushed everything over the edge. I didn't mean it like that, but like, you know what I mean, right? Like, now we have several characters that are wanted by the Commonwealth and are likely going to be arrested and taken into the Commonwealth. And then what happens? So that's kind of where I think the last couple of episodes are going to go, like in terms of the flow of the story. Is I think in 14, we're going to see them escape. There's going to be some stuff there with Daryl and Aaron, and that we'll see some of that play out. I think Gabriel and Aaron will be taken in. Things could happen in 15. Maybe some of that happens in 15, but we're also going to see some stuff at the Commonwealth, some stuff with the list, right, that Connie and Kelly got. There's a lot of things there that obviously they do have to come around back to, and then it's all going to build up to some of the protests and the rioting happening because maybe there's a big thing planned, right? And then I think once they go to the prison, I think once Aaron does die, something like that happens, then it's going to get really intense. And I think all of that's going to happen in 16. And I really think the cliffhanger of 16 is going to be, all right, we're going into like the protests, the rioting of the Commonwealth are going to happen. And now, you know, Pamela and all of them are going to have to hide in their houses because people are rioting in the streets. It's getting really, really dangerous within the Commonwealth. And then just sort of where do you go from there? And that's why I think there's going to be a big death in the same episode. And then, yeah, the last 8 is going to be, how do we deal with this? There's going to be a lot of really intense moments, you know, more character deaths. And then there's a lot of the CRM and Rick stuff that's going to be sprinkled in everywhere here, right? Like, that's sort of the end game for the show. So we're building up to that right now as well. So, yeah, that's why, you know, for me, that's why I just freaked out about 13. After I watched it, I was like, oh, shit, man. Like, right away in my head, I was like, okay, this is going to lead to this. And, like, what do these characters do now? And you know, so, you know, I'll end it here in saying that it does seem like Aaron is going to be the big death. And that's sort of, I'm as of now, I'm predicting it to happen in episode 16. I think Aaron's going to die in episode 16. I don't know who's going to do it. It really depends. But if you look at all the scenes that we've gotten so far of Aaron, it really feels like he's about to die. It really does feel like he's about to die. And so, yeah, I mean, we're 3 weeks away from seeing that happen if it does happen. And yeah, this is about to get really intense. I mean, that's why I said episode 13 changed everything. It just changed what was happening. And we were waiting for a moment like this to happen, right? We were waiting for a moment where our characters would be like, hey, that's not right. And then actually cross that line and then kill a Commonwealth soldier or whatever, where you do have witnesses and they can report that to the Commonwealth, where it changes the lives for certain characters, which is going to, you know, it's going to have a ripple effect throughout our entire group, right? So that's now happened. Now it's just a matter of Daryl and Rosita got to find out about all of this, which it seems like they're going to in episode 14. But yeah, I'm going to leave it here. Definitely post all your thoughts down below. Hope you guys all enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.